Hey again, everyone. This is Shanti. Today is the 26th of July 2022. It's a Tuesday, and it's day 2 of my daily crossword solving challenge. Um, since today is a Tuesday, it's going to be marginally more difficult than yesterday's solve. So I'm not actually going to try and set a time limit for myself, but the same restrictions as last time apply, where I'm not allowed to look up or Google or get any hints on any answers. I'm going to solve this entirely on my own. So let's get started. Vocal range below soprano. I don't know if alto comes below soprano or not, but let's fill that up and see what happens. Sometime. No, don't know. Short term offering from an auto shop. Middle parts of bodies. Okay, yeah, this is torsos. Between your head and your legs. Like days of yore, olden maybe? And does that help us here? What's all around you? I wonder if this is wool. I think a ewe is a type of sheep. I think it's like a female sheep or something. So that could be wool. Does that help us anywhere here? Short term offering from an auto shop. No, not really. What this? Apple product that's not suitable for kids? Ah, misdirection. This is not Apple as in Apple computer. This is Apple as in literally apples. And the Apple product not suitable for kids is hard cider, which I would just refer to as cider. But apparently in the US, cider is a non-alcoholic beverage, and the alcoholic version is called hard cider. Sometime, a while. Equivalent of ers. I know I was saying too many of those yesterday. Hotelier, Helmsley, or Singer Lewis. Louis Leone sounds like a name, but I'm not sure. Coin slot directive. Insert. A directive given by a coin slot on, say, an arcade machine. Game where rolling 2 fours is a square pair. This looks like it could be craps. I don't really know much about craps the game. All I know is it's played with dice. Newspapers, books, or magazines, publications? That's not how you spell that. No, but I would expect it to be in the plural, as we discussed yesterday. Newspapers, books, or magazines. Each of those individually is in the plural already, so you would want the full form to be in the plural as well, but maybe not. Let's see what's happening here. Tiny amount, a bit. Broke ground in a way, not sure. Sports org for the sky and the sun. No. Silent approval could be a nod. Symbol of busyness, unsure. Floating aimlessly. Hairy cousin in the Addams family. This is just another one of those clues that the New York Times crossword likes to use to fill in pesky places. It's cousin it. Spread thickly as sunscreen. Slather? Do you slather yourself with sunscreen? Audible response of contempt, not sure. Solitary sort. A loner is a solitary sort. Playground retort. R2. Like am not R2, maybe. 1982 film inspired by Pong. What those in agreement speak with? Not sure. Yeah, I'm not very good with wines. Let's maybe try and tackle a different part of this crossword clue. Also, wait, I just realized a short-term offering from an auto shop could be a loaner. If your car is in for repairs, they can give you a loaner to drive around instead. Bad button to click accidentally. Send. I think we've all been there. Jewelers. Eyepiece. this again? Lover of the grape? Allow oneself the pleasure. You could indulge yourself if you allow yourself the pleasure. Easy enough. Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. Ideal marks for scammers. Virtuoso. What Brits call a biscuit? Wait. Do they call it a scone? No. Oh, sorry. I was thinking of it the other way. I thought this was going to be from a Brit's point of view, what do Americans call a biscuit? But no, of course, what Brits call a biscuit, Americans call a cookie. Rock, paper, scissors by another name, unsure. Illegal hunters could be poachers. More eye roll inducing. If it's more than something, it could end with an R. I don't think this is cringier, but if it were, again, it would end with ER. Phishing site could be a PR. Eureka! Aha! So this is an exclamation, which is in quotation marks. And what that means in New York Times crossword cluing is that the fill is going to be a similar exclamation. So, aha. You could say aha in the same place you would say eureka. Excuse me. Maine to Florida route. I don't know, man. Ask me about the Sheikh Zayed road instead. 60 secs again. Now you have SECS dot, which is an abbreviation for the word seconds, and that hints us on to the fact that the clue will probably also be abbreviated. So 60 secs could be a min, as in a minute. A planet's path is an orbit. Helpful theorem in math? Not sure. State repeatedly. Let's look somewhere else for now. A virtuoso might be an ace. So that would mean that an ideal mark for a scammer, or rather ideal marks for scammers, plural, easy targets with an S. Does that help us here any? Unfortunately, I don't think it does for me. Oh, hold on. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the concept of a theme in crosswords, because I don't think we really went over that yesterday. Sometimes you get clues that either all mean something, and then you have a clue called a revealer, which kind of reveals to you what the connection between the clues were, or you get something like this, where certain squares on the grid are filled in and they're related to the theme. And what we have here for today's theme, I think, is told to us by this revealer down here at 58 across. Breakfast order visually suggested 3 times in this puzzle's grid. And what I think we have here is, okay, this is a bit of, I don't know what you call a visual pun, but yeah, a pun but visual, because those big circle inside a smaller circle, small circle inside a bigger circle, kind of look to me like they are eggs, and fried eggs. And so you have, whether they're hard boiled, or rather they're hard or they're easy. I guess over here this would be somewhere in the middle, so this would be medium, which would make these things print medium. And yep, that checks out. Those are also fried eggs, because Thor's father is Odin. Let's put the O in there, because I think we can be pretty sure that if they were over there above hard and easy, they'll be here above medium as well. Does that help us anywhere here? Winter hours in Denver? Nope, I don't know. Might be something hood. Love of the grape, still not sure. Ground in a way could, maybe this is bore, as in if you are boring into the ground. No, not sure about that. I'm gonna put those in pencil just to suggest that they are guesses still at this point. Neither's partner, as in the partner of the word neither, which is nor. Audible response of contempt, maybe this is snark, let's see. Traces left behind, if this was an R. Not sure. Maybe this is R so. Having some trouble with today's grid for sure. A wasp's home is a nest though, that I know. Oh, what those in agreement speak with, they speak with one voice. French wine. Is this just the French word for wine, which is vin? Does that help us with 33 across? They rise during inflation. Prices rise during inflation. And that would mean that traces left behind are residues. So yeah, this was R so and not R2. Oh, the 1982 film inspired by inspired by Pong is Tron. Tron's a great movie. If you're familiar with computer graphics, you might have heard of Perlin Noise, developed by Ken Perlin, which was actually developed to give texture to some items in Tron. And if you haven't heard of Perlin Noise, but you are interested in computer graphics or just, graphics in general, I do suggest you look up Perlin Noise. It's quite cool. Press statement. Maybe a press release. Is there such a thing as a Sky Terrier? That sounds familiar to me for some reason. Credit figures, APRs, again, don't really know what it means, but it sounds familiar. An NBA official could be a ref. Again, NBA is kind of short, so ref is as well. I don't know whether this is going to be eggs or fried eggs or something, so I'm leaving it kind of blank for now. It can harden into igneous rock. That might be lava. Does that help us here? I've had it. Beam of sunshine, array. Does one raffle through something? Does one? I've heard of one rifling through something, but let's see. Examine could be eyed. Leader, not sure. Sought consent. You could have asked someone if you sought consent for something. Slumber party attire informally. Informally, that would be PJs, pajamas. Sounding like keys or loose change, that might be jangle or jingle. Not sure. Okay, so yeah, that tells us that this is indeed fried eggs. Uncute fruit? Excuse me? All fruit is cute. And I guess that would be a Y because Santa's bagful is a bag full of toys. Unless he doesn't like you, in which case it's coal. Expecting a baby in slang. Wow, thanks, I hate it. Prego. Oh, jingly or jangly, not sure. Oh, gold standard, not as in the gold standard of something, like another word for the gold standard, but rather I think this means literally a standard for measuring gold, which is the carat. If you know the difference between carat with a C and carat with a K, could you post that in the comments, please? Equilibrium might be if something is in stasis. Not sure. That looks weird, doesn't it, with GLI? Maybe let's cut that out for now. Capital of Mont. No idea. Leader could be the head of something. I'm not familiar with these two languages in the clue. Also not exactly sure how to pronounce them, so I'll leave that be for now. What do we have up here? Blustery storm, tempest. Tempest in a teacup. Certain spousal state, wifehood? Maybe this isn't bore then, because a floating aimless could be if you are adrift. Yeah, this is confusing. Lover of the grape sounds like it should be something like wine, but that does seem a bit weird, doesn't it? I'm gonna say that this was raffled through. Or maybe not. Maybe it is. No, that also looks weird, doesn't it? Oh, maybe this is cheesier? I have never heard that word before. Or at least I haven't seen rifle spelled with two F's. State repeatedly. Iterate? I thought state repeatedly would be to reiterate. I'm not sure. And again, we've got the slightly annoying, as a non-American, non-US American situation here, where you have two clues that cross over on two very American things, and so neither of them is really helping me with the other one. Maybe we can come back here to the 55 cross and see. What if this was an L? What if it's Helena? Would that help us any? It would make this look like stasis. But this still doesn't look like any language I'm familiar with. I'm also not sure what an uncued fruit is. Maybe this isn't or anything like that. But then what could it be? This is difficult indeed. And the jeweler's eyepiece is also not one I am therefore familiar with. What do we do here? I'm sure this makes for very riveting watching. My apologies there. Helpful theorem in maths. Okay, what kind of things do you have in maths? You have axioms, you have theorems, algorithms, you have lemmas. There you go. Rosham something? Again, not really something I'm familiar with. Rochambi, Rochampo, Rochampa, Rochams. We'll have to look that word up. Is this referring to a mythical creature? Is this referring to... Is it just someone who likes wine? Tell you what, if it's someone who likes wine, they could be a wino. Broke ground in a way. Still not sure about this. Okay, this one is tripping me up because I'm guessing a sports org for the sky and the sun is again some sort of American sports league. Four-letter American sports leagues I'm familiar with are basically just Indy, as in IndyCar racing, and the WNBA, which I think is the women's NBA. Both of which I'm only familiar, or rather, well, Indy I'm familiar with because I follow motorsports, WNBA because of the Crossword. What could this be if this was WNBA? Let's admit that board might be wrong. What could a tiny amount be that starts with a W and ends with an it? Okay, that does actually help because a symbol of busyness could be a bee, busy as a bee. If you broke ground, you hoed, as in like when you're farming, perhaps. This is still giving me pain. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pencil in a U for ugly and see where that takes us. That I at the end there is seriously tripping me over. And here we have just some guesswork. Could this be something with like highway something 1? Okay, well, not quite. We know that it's these two letters that are going to be giving us pain. Or rather, I mean, it could even be this, although I'm more certain about 63 across than I am about 64 across. The 1 still seems more likely to me just because that is how highways are commonly named all across the world, where you have a highway number allocated to it. For example, the United Arab Emirates' longest highway is the E11, which in Dubai is called Sheikh Zayed Road. Could this just be US one? I mean, E11 is literally, the E stands for Emirates, so maybe. And it was. Okay, amazing. That definitely took longer than I would have hoped. And it doesn't bode well for the later videos this week if each one is going to be this much longer than the last. But either way, that's day 2 of my crossword challenge completed. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.